Does God exist? I find this an intriguing question, not so much because it has been asked by many people, but also because I wonder what is the motivation behind the question. I recall a few years ago, I preached in a church in Atlanta in the US. And after the service, the pastor came to me and said, I have a couple of young people who have many questions about God. Would you mind we could go to a restaurant, have a bite, and chat about these questions? I gladly agreed. So here we were at the restaurant, the food was ordered, we all sat down at the table. And then the pastor turned to these two young men and said, You know, guys, the time is yours. Go ahead. Then one of them asked this question: What are the reasons you would give for your belief in the existence of God? I took a few moments to respond, and being a kind man, he said, I'm sorry for asking you a difficult question. I reassured him that it wasn't a difficult question, just that I was trying to understand what evidence would actually satisfy him. What kind of data would persuade him that there was a God who existed? You know, there is this personal side to knowledge. I'll come back to that in a moment. When I speak in campuses, I like to tell young people this line: You are not your own idea. Meaning, you did not cause yourself into existence. In fact, you're not even your parents' idea. They only knew you after you arrived, and then they gave you a name and they loved you and took care of you. So, what am I saying? Only your Maker is big enough to see what is the meaning or the purpose of your life. So, stop behaving like it's your life. It's not your life, it's been given to you. One of the obvious things we could say about human life is the fact that we are finite. We don't know how and where we came from. There is no one who knows everything about themselves, let alone understanding the cosmic mysteries of the world. So there is a finitude to human life. The word I want to leave with you is contingency. Human beings are not necessary beings, they are contingent beings, meaning they owe their existence to something outside or beyond them. So not only are human beings finite, the world that we live in is also finite. 150 years ago, if you were to ask the scientists of the time about the beginnings of the universe, they would have found that weird. Most scientists believed the universe was eternal. But today, the majority consensus in the scientific world is that the universe had a beginning. That's a stunning development. But this development was resisted by scientists of the caliber of Arthur Eddington, Albert Einstein, and more recently, late Stephen Hawking. They resisted the beginning of the universe. The reason being, the moment you posit the universe had a beginning, the immediate question that science would like to raise is what caused it? That's the principle of causality. Because every finite effect needs a cause outside. So that question smacks of a possible divine intervention to people, and so people don't want to ask that question. They don't want to accept the universe had a beginning. So quickly, the finitude of the human being and the finitude of the cosmos that we live in really point to a God beyond the cosmos, our maker. In the Bible, God is presented as someone who self-discloses. God reveals himself to us. And the Bible uses two different words, especially in the New Testament, to talk about knowledge about God. Firstly, it uses the word oidas in the Greek, meaning knowledge about God, to have an opinion about God. You know something about God. The second verb is ginosko, meaning knowing God. It's one thing to know about God, it's quite another to know God. And the Bible is open to both of these options when we seek God. Let me close with this statement from Billy Graham. Somebody asked him, How do you know God exists? He just gave a cheeky response, Oh, I spoke to him this morning. Friend, there is a possibility to know about God. There's also a possibility to know God. May you find Him, your Maker, and you will see the dots connecting in life.